As a child, my favorite gift was my Baby Alive. Baby Alive is a little baby, a little chocolate baby. My parents got me a little chocolate baby, and it was connected to a little box with a battery in it, and you could hit the buttons and make the baby alive. Flip one way, flip back the other way. So that was my favorite childhood Christmas gift. But I always loved being with my family, being with my friends. And now that I am older and I have children of my own, I enjoy being with my 3 sons. Yeah, my 3 sons. They're much older now, but I enjoy their company. I am indeed a boy mom because during the holidays, we get with our family members and we watch sports. Basketball, football, soccer, we watch sports. I mean, sometimes those sports watching turn into us doing sports and playing sports because sometimes we go outside and we enjoy it ourselves.
When I was, I think, around 5 or 6, and my mom pretty much got me every single Power Ranger known to mankind on one end of the tree, and then my mom got me all the Star Trek figures plus the Enterprise on the other side of the tree.
My favorite holiday memory is I used to have a cat, and he would chase the Christmas bulb around on his tail and go in circles around and around and around and around, and that was really funny. I always thought it was hilarious.
It's my birthday on Christmas Eve, so I remember growing up as a kid and we'd wait until midnight Christmas Eve, and right before I get to open up all my birthday presents, and then at the stroke of midnight, get to open up the Christmas presents.
My favorite holiday memory has to be the year it did not snow in Pennsylvania. We had my little cousins, they were maybe 6 and 7 at the time, and they were really disappointed that there was no snow because they're from up north. They're used to a white Christmas. So we pulled out some snow in a can and we had a little snowball fight in the front yard. That's definitely my favorite Christmas memory.
My favorite holiday memory growing up was definitely each year. I'm from Maryland, and so we go to 34th Street, which is a street that was like 10 minutes from my house, and they would have every single house on the block was light up with Christmas lights. You could go walk down the street, they would close it off to traffic, so you could walk the sidewalks, walk in the street, and see all the lights and decorations that people had put up. And it was mandatory if you lived there to put up lights, so people went all out. The most extravagant Christmas lights I've ever seen, and it was definitely something I looked forward to as a kid growing up.
Favorite Christmas memory has to be the first year my now fiance and I decided to make holiday Christmas cookies together. I'm a very messy person, he's a very clean person. Long story short, the cookies were a mess. They looked a mess. Thankfully, they tasted good. And the kitchen was just destroyed with flour everywhere.
My family grew up in the same neighborhood, if you can imagine that. But what was really cool about that was, my grandparents lived there, and so Christmas breakfast was always at my grandparents' house. So, and we're a big family. So I'm talking, let's see, there's 13 grandkids and 2 adults per those kids. So it was just always like a big thing for everyone to go to my grandparents' house to have breakfast, and always had matzah and scrambled eggs and ketchup. Because my grandfather, that's my mom's side, is also Jewish. So it's a very interesting mix. But what was really cool is that most of us, my cousins, were all around the same age. So we were all telling each other our stories, what Santa got us, and then we would have our gifts from our grandparents. So it's just a really cool memory of family, and I really miss that since moving away. And my grandparents have since passed, so it's just not the same anymore without waking up and opening a couple presents, then going to my grandparents' house for Christmas breakfast, and then going back to open more presents. It's not the same.
Well, my favorite holiday memory is, of course, waking up Christmas morning, going down the stairs, and my brothers and sisters, we all had our toys and goodies in each area. And of course, my favorite part was grabbing that stocking because I knew there was candy, gum, and a watch, and even an apple and a candy cane for joy.
My favorite holiday memory would be the year my mother finally decided that I would decorate the Christmas trees in her house. Now, she had 2 Christmas trees with I don't know how many ornaments, and you had to take every single ornament and fill that Christmas tree up. I remember my brother and I would actually put maybe 2 to 3 ornaments just on one branch.
My favorite holiday memory is getting together with my family on New Year's Eve, and we count down to the new year. We sing Auld Lang Syne. To this day, we still don't know all the words to the song, and we have a prayer, and then we eat, celebrating the new year.
For holiday memory, well, you never see me without a fishing rod in my hand usually, and that's what it comes down to. I was 9 years old, and I wanted a Mitchell 300 reel, and woke up Christmas morning, and there it was, had a reel just like my dad's. Man, I was the happiest kid on earth.
So the Christmas memory that first comes to mind is we were traveling to Grandma's house, and my sister was in the back seat. For some reason, she brought along toothpaste and a toothbrush, and she was back there brushing her teeth. And we're driving down the road. It's cold, and she rolls down the window, sticks her head out the window to spit out the toothpaste into the wind, and the toothpaste blew all back into her face, and we all just cried hysterically and laughing, and it was just for some reason my sister put toothpaste in her face is my Christmas memory.
So my favorite holiday memory, so where I grew up in Georgia, the street that I grew up on, all the kids, we kind of grew up together. And so every holiday we would spend together. So ever since like I was little, I remember waking up and spending Christmas morning with my family and my brother and sister and parents. But then around, 11 or noon or whatever, all of the neighborhood kids would come over and we would just spend the whole day together. And it's kind of fun because even as we get older, we still do this every single year. And we're always still put at the kids' table every single year now. I'm 23, the oldest is now like 30, and we're still at the kids' table every single year. And that's just my favorite holiday memory because it's something that hasn't changed and has always been the same. Over the years, there's been new people coming in and things like that as we get older, but it's something that I can always count on being the same, which I think is really cool and really special about holiday traditions in general. So that would definitely be my favorite holiday memory, is just getting to spend every day with all the people I grew up with and all the people that I love.
Well, my favorite Christmas memory is my sister and I, we always sat at the top of the steps, kind of looking through the banisters, and our parents would go down Christmas morning to see if Santa Claus had come by. And of course they go, well, he was here. And so we go running down, and my sister grabs all her presents, she's opening them up, and I look over my pile, and it's a bunch of coal. But it was good coal.
A holiday memory I'll never forget is actually all the kids were worried about what cookie to give Santa. While they were focusing on chocolate chip and oatmeal, I was more concerned that Santa was eating too many sweets. So what I decided to do was give Santa, carrots and celery, and then he can share them with the reindeer. So I left it that Christmas Eve, and guess what? He ate it all. And for the rest of the year, he got carrots and celery, and of course, one cookie for me. You're welcome, Santa.